predictor.
Right.
33 wins. That's what they said. Charles Barkley, 33 wins. Vegas, 33 wins. And we going to the damn playoffs.
Come on, Doc. You need to send us nothing, Doc?
Hey, Dennis.
It's your coach right here.
Dennis.
Come on, Doc. Come on, Doc. Send me in. Come on, Coach. We didn't get no
He'll
champagne.
take care of me.
Take care
of me,
All
yeah.
right,
He'll take care of me.
You could also call Isaiah Thomas. I think he's got a few bottles
He's
stashed
got
back
that
there, too.
champagne back
good
there.
stuff.
We've got 2 topics with 2 weeks to go left in the NBA regular season. Time flies when you're having fun.
That's right.
Let's begin with Doc Rivers and the Clippers. They have clinched, you saw the champagne bath there, a spot in the NBA playoffs. The Brooklyn Nets, they have not yet clinched a spot, and they have a tough road to get to the playoffs, but you have to agree the Clippers and Nets are the 2 biggest surprises in the NBA this year. Which one, Dennis, making the playoffs, is it more important to, Brooklyn or the LA Clippers?
I'm going to say Brooklyn because of all the things they've been through, taking a chance on D'Angelo Russell. When they brought in the new owner, we're going to be doing this. We're going to win a championship in 5 years. And I just think, Marks has done an excellent job bringing in the right pieces. Kenny Atkinson has done an excellent job, Coach. You know this, of just making the guys to play the right way. They had the injury early on with Harris LeVert. So it's like, I think it'd be real important. And I think New Yorkers, you're a New Jersey guy that love the old New Jersey Nets. You know that. And, Coach, you've been around this team for a long time. This will be very, very important with the makeup of this team. Not saying that it wouldn't be important for you Clipper fans, but after talking to Ballmer, knowing they're getting up a pick, I think it's Brooklyn is more important.
I think it might be almost equally as important to both teams because to add to what you said about Brooklyn, remember, ownership made all these great statements and then he sold the team to somebody else. Okay? Right. Majority of it is owned by somebody else right now. This is year 7 in Brooklyn for them. They haven't made the playoffs in 3 years. Made it the first 3 with some of the leftovers from New Jersey coming over, did the deal with Pierce and Garnett and all that group. Didn't quite work out the way they wanted. As a result of that, this team has gone 3 years without a pick of their own. So Sean Marks has done an incredible job of kind of piecing it together to be able to add some pieces here and there, young guys that they can develop, get a guy you take a chance on, like you mentioned, D'Angelo Russell, who turns into an all-star. And here they are, Shazam, in the playoff picture right now. On the other hand, the Clippers, I am so happy for Doc, Lawrence Frank, who's in the front office there, what they've done. Because, first of all, how about the pressure that those other guys, L.A. Lakers, are right across the city there from?
Good call, Coach.
They signed LeBron James, and you
Coach.
become irrelevant to NBA basketball. You're going to win 30, 31, 32 games, maybe. Doc now, with this team, what they did, and if they had this all planned out in their head, then they are sensational. They have gotten younger and much better and a better spirit, a better camaraderie, and they're more fun to coach, and they like to practice. And they've got Lou Williams coming off the bench, the number 1-2 punch in the league as far as scoring goes. They're happy, and they're winning, and they're in the playoffs.
You asked the wrong question. You should have said it was more impressive. Then it'd be Doc Rivers and the Clippers all day long. Because when we had Mr. Ballmer in the studio a few weeks ago, you asked him the direct question, what about that pick? And he told us, he's ready to play. I love the pick and think it's great about the future, but I want to be in the playoffs. That's where his energy was. That's where his excitement was. So that's why I picked Brooklyn, because Mr. Ballmer really wants to be in too.
Again, to clarify, by making the playoffs, the Clippers transfer their first-round pick to the Celtics. Had the Clippers missed the playoffs, they would have gotten to keep their own pick this year. We talk so much about culture in the NBA. Maybe it's a misused or overused word at this point, but when you're talking about a team that's telling their entire organization from top down that winning and making the playoffs is a priority over whatever draft pick we get, over essentially losing, and then you also create all this flexibility. Think about the Clippers and Nets, who are likely going to make the playoffs, and both are going to have up to 2 max cap spots to offer up to players in free agency this summer.
Yeah, to go along with what you're just saying, Dan Gilbert, the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, in the beginning of the season, I talked to Kobe Altman and said, what do you want to do? LeBron's gone. What's most important to you? And he said, Dan, we sat down. He wants to make the playoffs. He thinks if we stay healthy, now think about this. They had George Hill, J.R. Smith,
Before
Tristan Thompson, Kevin Love, all of that going in. He said, we think we can make the playoffs. And the line in Vegas was over 31 as far as wins on the Cavaliers. To me, it was like a no-brainer. They're going to win more than 31 games with that whole group together, bringing in Sexton as the youngster, okay? All of a sudden, the whole thing fell apart. And even though they wanted to, their intentions were to make it, they suddenly switched, as they did a year ago, and bringing new guys in right at trade deadline to make it back to the finals again. They switched and realized we're not getting it done. Too many guys hurt, not the same. Here we go with the Cavaliers now.
2 topics with 2 weeks to go in the regular season, 1 down. Let's go to the other topic here, which is which team do you have more concern for at this point heading into the playoffs? A team like Oklahoma City, who over its last 17 is 6-11, or a team like the Boston Celtics over their last 17 is 7-10. Coach, who do you got more of a concern for?
Here's how I look at them. With Boston, the expectations were so high coming off of last season, as well as they played in the playoffs without Kyrie Irving being there for them down the stretch, obviously because of the injury to Gordon Hayward, trying to play without 2 superstars. And they go as far as they did, played as well as they did. Guys who weren't supposed to be getting 25, 26 minutes a night were. Now, all of a sudden, that changed this year when Hayward's back and Kyrie is back, and they don't play as well as they did. And all year long, we're trying to say, when are the Celtics going to turn it on? Well, I think what you have is, in the Celtic locker room, they may not be the happiest bunch of Celtic players like we'd like to see them be, because everybody's got something to say right now, whether it's about how they practice, how they play, who substitutes, who should be playing who at the
airplane rides.
Airplane.
They fight over airplane rides?
No. Those are the good things. It's just inconsistencies.
Okay.
But in Oklahoma City, I see a team that's very united. They have a trademark of being a very good defensive team, so they can hang their hat on that. They've got 2 stars. Adams is terrific. If Schroeder wakes back up again and understands we need you to come back and play like you did in the beginning of the year, that team has a chance, I think, to do some damage. Not saying Boston can't, but there's the difference in concerns with both teams to me. They're happier in Oklahoma City, and I think they're going to straighten it out. Maybe last night was a turnaround point for them.
Bigger concern, OKC or Boston?
Coach, I'm going to go with OKC. I like everything you said about them, but I am a little concerned with Paul George's shoulder. If Paul George is not 100%, it makes me nervous now because I may not have the same confidence of coming in and saying I can go in wherever it is and steal me a game or 2 because I'm that good. Right. Lastly, Ferguson, are you ready to make big shots in the bright lights? Jeremy Grant, I love what you've done this year, shooting the 3. Last night I think you had 5 threes, really shooting the blood out of the basketball. I'm just a little concerned, Coach. Is that bench, we talked about it last segment, is that bench ready when they start double-teaming Russell, they start double-teaming Paul George? Are you ready to make those big shots in Golden State or in Houston when it really, really counts? That's my biggest concern.
And the way it's looking right now, okay.
It's one of those 2. See what I'm saying?
Denver or Golden State in the
Golden
first round?
State, yes.
Come on, that's incredible.
He makes an excellent point about guys who haven't been used to clocks going down in the playoffs. They better get used to it because that's what's going to happen. When they take the main guys out, they're passing it to you and they're counting on you to get it done. 2
topics, 2 weeks to go in the books.
Ooh, playoffs, baby. I can't wait. I can't wait. Yes.
Plenty more to come.
Playoffs, baby.
On GameTime Live, they are underway in Philadelphia tonight. Huge game for both the Sixers and the Nets, and Philadelphia has jumped out to a 27-13 lead. We'll continue to check in there, as well as everything else on this 8-game night as we get set for the Rockets and the Nuggets live on NBA TV.
Who's that? Ryan B?